Okay, maybe people don't have the highest opinion of Qui-Gon.
He was a Jedi Master who was responsible for the training and creation of Darth Vader.
But that doesn't mean he wasn't sorry for what he did.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
As we know in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Qui-Gon finds a young slave boy on Tatooine and believes that he is the chosen one, the person that will bring balance to the Force. I mean, which was kind of weird because everything seemed to be going great for the Jedi, but whatever. Because of the prophecy, Qui-Gon wants to train Anakin as a Jedi, but when he gets a little hole put in his gut, he realizes that's no longer an option, so he turns to his Padawan to complete the job. Obi-Wan becomes not only a Jedi Knight after this, but takes on a Padawan. But not any Padawan. A Padawan that is starting dangerously late coming to the Force, according to the Jedi Council, and who has some severe emotional issues.
I mean, did you see that fucking psychopath laugh as people were dying around him?
This is pod racing.
This pushing of Anakin on Obi-Wan would cause a lot of turmoil for the man. Kenobi would often doubt himself and believe he was failing Anakin, which in the end, he kinda did.
This self-doubt and the strong emotions of Anakin would be a continuous problem for Obi-Wan. In fact, Obi-Wan almost left the Jedi Order when Anakin wanted to. So to say training Anakin was stressful is an understatement.
You may believe that Qui-Gon was okay with that it was the price to be paid for the chosen one to fulfill the prophecy. Except he wasn't, and he felt so sorry for his apprentice. In a story that is set during Obi-Wan's last day on Tatooine, we learn that Qui-Gon had been visiting Obi-Wan from time to time as a Force ghost and teaching him.
Actually, this is probably the most endearing thing about Qui-Gon. He forced himself to take the form he last resembled in life in the physical world, something that took nearly a decade, so that his Padawan didn't have to spend his years in the desert alone.
It is during the story we learn that they never spoke of the fact Qui-Gon failed Obi-Wan, that Qui-Gon had put too much responsibility on the man, which had led to Kenobi and Anakin's current fate. Qui-Gon thought that they had never talked about how he failed Kenobi during his Force Ghost visits because Qui-Gon's mistakes were so obvious and wretched that Obi-Wan had spared him by never discussing it with him.
In their last visit, Qui-Gon finally brought up the topic, racked with guilt, to his Padawan, saying,
"You weren't ready to be a Jedi Master. You hadn't even been knighted when I forced you to promise to train Anakin. Teaching a student so powerful, so old, so unused to our ways, that might have been beyond the reach of the greatest of us. To lay that burden at your feet when you were hardly more than a boy."
However, Obi-Wan didn't see it that way. He saw Anakin's fall to the dark side as more of the boy's choice than anyone's failure, even if Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon shared some responsibility in it. But Qui-Gon still felt like that didn't absolve him of his mistakes.
Perhaps the other touching thing about this story is learning that Qui-Gon is so proud of his Padawan, knowing that despite every person he ever loved, Anakin, Satine, Padme, and Qui-Gon dying or having a much worse fate, Obi-Wan never faltered. He braved his path with fortitude and patience.
So there you are, Qui-Gon felt extreme guilt for what he put his Padawan through and making him train Anakin. And finally, on the day Obi-Wan was to die, he finally got to express that regret.
We're also led to believe that Qui-Gon, upon Obi-Wan dying, was able to discuss more of his sorrow over the events in a way that wasn't hindered by the crude method of the spoken word. Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars videos.